Well, once again, I don't know what I'm going to paint. I've just primed this bit of watercolour paper that I never really used for watercolour. It wasn't very good, but it certainly makes a good support for acrylic. I've pulled the hair off there and it's taken the primer off. I primed it with some PVA glue. I'm often being asked what version do I use. It's just woodworking glue. It's the same as acrylic paint. It's acrylic. PVA bond, Unibond, Universal Builder stuff. Paint it on walls so that plaster will stick or concrete will stick. Use it as a wood glue and dilute it and use it as a primer. It's the same stuff as your paints, only much, well, it's quite thick actually. So there's a palette, look, colours on there. You use your own colours. This is a Masterson Stay Wet palette, which is, you buy membranes for it, and the membranes let water come up through the back of it, but it doesn't let the paint drop through into the water. They're brilliant. That's the lid for it. And it comes with a sponge that expands when it's wet, but I don't like the sponge. I find that the water tends to go a bit mildewy after 2 or 3 days. So I'm using just a load of layers of kitchen tissue paper, a big roll. There's my hand, I'll show you how big the roll is. And it works perfectly well. But I love the palettes. The paint will stay usable for days, sometimes weeks. I've got a cup of tea here. I thought it was about time I got back to do a couple of the acrylics. And I'm thinking of my local river really. So let's put in a bit of white, a bit of blue. There's just something like that. We can change. If we don't want to go for a river, we can make a lake of it. So I'll put that in the water and use another brush, and we'll put in some trees. Now I don't know whether to do winter trees. Winter trees are very easy to do in watercolour when you get the knack of it, of dry brushing the shape of the canopy, but not so easy to do on a smooth paper. I haven't added any powder to the primer to make a nice rough surface. I'll build the rough surface up as I go. But I'm a great lover of black. Now my black's gone off a little bit now, so a bit of black and red. We'll put in a bit of tree stuff here. We can use a bit of green. That's gone off as well. I do use greens in with acrylic, mixed with the yellows, the black. It's a great colour, queen of colours, I think Monet said. Mixing a bit of black with the yellow. I don't want this to be a portrait of anything in particular. I just want it to just be a sort of an abstract-y landscape. And we can have some banking stuff there. Bit of shadow. Just putting paint on. And when I do the sky, I can paint down to the trees. I'm just putting a bit of blue in the distance here. See, that dries very quickly. It's a great material, acrylic. It doesn't smell. It washes in water, but the danger is leaving your brushes with acrylic paint on, because just when you're not looking, the paint will dry and you've lost your brush. So beware. Keep them moist, keep them clean, and they'll last you for a long time. These are 1 inch Pro Art series 22 hog varnish brushes. I've been it to the camera, you can see. Really good. Buy them when you see them. They cost about £4 in the UK. I bought some at the Art in Action show last July. And unfortunately, it's the last one they're going to do. It's a massive art fair south of Oxford. And I bought 3. These were £2 each. Pro Art, the same, ready to go when these ones wear out. And I bought another wider brush. I do use that's just a varnish brush, right? That's a cheap one, but it's quite a good one. I bought that in France, I think. This is the Pro Art one. That's 1.5 inches, and that is a very, very good brush for a larger painting. And I'm a great believer in using the largest brush you can before getting onto the small ones. So let's just add a bit more detail to that. To this background of trees. Doesn't matter what colour you use at the beginning, because it dries so quick you can easily go over it in the not too distant future. Just mix any old colours here. Just get a shape of the trees. I don't want the left to compete with the right, so I want one up here. That's the bigger tree, and I can put light on that. Okay. I'll add a bit of green here and there. This all adds a bit of texture, so that it will take dry brush when it dries. We're not too bothered about a finish. Don't start off with a finished painting. You end up with a finished painting. It's going into summer day now, but it doesn't matter. We'll put in some shadow there, bit of red, bit of blue. My red's a little bit dried out, but it is. I've been on there for 2 or 3 weeks. Get a lot of paint on there. Right. Okay, let's put in a bit of sky now. Get another brush. Swig of tea. I've done blue water. Let's have a blue sky. Plenty of paint. Don't be stingy with it. I bought this paint a lot of it from Wilkinson. Wilkinson's, Tesco's are doing a range for children. I had a look last week when we went into the big Tesco's in Bexhill. It's not. These are the tubes I use from Wilco's. Acrylic paint. They do a range of colours. About half a dozen are usable for me, for my palette. But unless you go and have a look yourself, I can't find a cheap, good yellow ochre. Bring that down there. Just open up some of that. I will let that dry, and let's do a bit of river. I can put reflections over that. I'm going to bring the landscape down here. Right, and now I just want to clean this brush and put a bit of light in the sky, a bit of cloud, a bit of light cloud. But I'm trying to get away from copying anything. I'm trying to use my imagination, such as it is, and to produce a piece of art that is original but doesn't look like anything that I experience. We do the bike ride along the River Wanderer every week, listening to my old friends, and it's really old men behaving badly on bikes, but we have such fun and we love this river, and I just paint idealised versions of it. So let's get some nice light in there. Plenty of when you look at white clouds, if you hold a sheet of white paper up against them, you'll find that they're not white, they contain a lot of colour. And I'll just bring that colour in and through there. Keep it soft. We'll put reflections coming down on this, but I want some nice blue in there. Because when you're looking down, you're looking at the high part of the sky. That is not being reflected there, it's being reflected there. That is what's high. You can put highlights on, of course, because the ripples will be reflecting different parts of the sky. But where it's sort of calm. But anyway, we're sort of abstracting this, so we're not painting a portrait. So let's get a bit of grey in there. I think mix a bit of red with that blue and the white. And what I do with the paper, I tape it with this inch masking tape, which when I remove it, it leaves a border around the paper, which is quite attractive. Looks more like a finished piece of art then. Let's just paint that right in there. Right, go back and put my light sky back. And then we're working to this fog, this middle distance. So a bit of yellow, bit of I'm using yellow ochre. Oh, I'll put that right in the middle, right, but never mind. So there we are, that's more or less the idea. In the drink, get another brush. When I've got a big water pot here, which I use for watercolour and acrylic. When I finish the painting and I clear up, before I do that, I put these under a fast flow running pressure, sort of like a tap. Which, in my room behind my easel, there's a shower room and it's got a water, it's a pump. Because we're in the loft conversion, we use a powerful pump to get the water going, so I can really get these brushes nice and clean. Okay, so let's go back and put in these colours. Let's make it a bit colourful. Change my mind, but then because it's acrylic, you can change your mind and make it all nice and colourful. I'm using a bit of Viridian that's a bit dry. I won't take those reflections down yet because it will disturb the paint underneath, which isn't quite dry yet. So a bit of shadow here. And then we're going to the other side. Make a bit of orangey, bit of this, bit of that. I'm just grabbing paint. I'm not thinking about anything finished. I can put a little bit of detail in later. Let's put this bank in here. Bit of blue, bit of red, bit of yellow. Remember complementary colours. If you want greens to sing, put it near a sort of red. Oh. Then you get that sort of vibrant. I've done this so many times, but it's just, now that is showing a bit light there, I don't know why, it isn't. I'm going to put a lot of shadow in. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. Put some air back in some of this here. Just using a bit of this grey sky colour just to open it up a little bit and make it a little bit more abstract. It's been really cold today. My car started right this morning after the problem I had in Bexhill, where I'd left my side lights on over a couple of days, flattened the battery, and it was a bit of a job to get going after that. But right, I don't know why, there's something there. I'm looking at the wrong side. There, yeah, that's. Let's put some shadow in now. Plenty of blue, plenty of red. Just dragging those colours down here. You don't have to label things, say, well, this is the bank, this is a tree. Let people make their own minds up as to what it says. Don't let the picture do all the talking. In other words, put that all back in there. Right. And then we'll just go back over here and put some light back in. So I've got a surface under there now, under that paint, which is taking the dry brush. So that makes up for the lack of gesso. Oh, sorry, I jumped my tea. I'm going to bring that light into here, so let's brighten it up now. I'm going to put a bit of blue on that horizon there. That's nice. We'll carry on in this area here where I've got the blue behind the trees. And we've just got that bit of light. Put that light. Right, well that's not too bad. That's quite interesting. I'm wearing an apron. I've fed up again my jeans, my new jeans, bits of acrylic. If you get acrylic on and it dries, you've lost it. You have to go out scruffy. Okay, now let's put in a bit of light coming through this area now. Red. I'm putting a bit of orange. I like orange. Don't use anything like it in watercolour, but you use whatever colours you like. You don't have to use what I use. I've developed my palette over many years. My watercolour palette is based on Ron Ransom Big Brush watercolour, and I've just adapted it to the oils, when I did oils, to the acrylic. And the only reason I use acrylic, well, no, not the only reason. One, it dries very quickly, and I'm an impatient sort of chap, and I can crack on with the painting. Okay, let's put some greenery in there. The sort of reeds. A little bit messy there, probably needs drying off a little bit. I'll go back on the other side. So let's put in some bit of nice greeny . And you just keep at it until you get something that pleases you. I might put a little bit of detail in for trees. catching a bit of the light as we're coming through here. See, nothing definite, just a suggestion. Now we'll put in a little bit of detail and hopefully we'll be close to finishing. Don't want to spend too long on it. I've got this brush here really worn out, look. But if I get a bit of ochre and a bit of white, just lighten it. Just in case you didn't know these were trees, I'm putting a few trunks and branches in, just putting a bit of grey. And just put in a bit of dark. I just want to get that light there because there's light from those clouds. I just want to just bring that down there, just to lose that edge there. Now this is where we're just reflecting the light in the sky, just okay. Don't think I really want to do much more than that. What I'll do, I'll take off the masking tape. It's really to try to, if you're a beginner, to have a go and don't worry about painting anything in particular. Let it sort of develop as you go along. I mean, it's only my idea, which I'll change tomorrow. And you can see how it leaves up. I might put a mount on it. I'll find one that's that sort of size. See? It's the wrong shape, but just clip that on there and clip that on there. Oh, didn't reach. Right, let's put another one on there then. Okay, so a very simple painting. If you do these things, it gives you a bit of confidence to sort of paint out of the box, so to speak. You don't have to name things. You don't have to do anything exact. But of course you can. You can paint in any particular way you like. I'm just doing what I'm doing today. Tomorrow I might do something completely different, or even this afternoon I might do something completely different. But that's just another River Wandle impression. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.